Hi, this is Ashton Williams, and this is my competency video for OT Process II. I just wanted to show you the worksheet and intervention I will be doing on my client beforehand, so you would have a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So this is a thoughts and behavior cost and benefit analysis. So my client is Tessa, so I will be having Tessa identify her thought or behavior that she will want to change in this first box. Next, I will have her list the potential costs or negative results from that thought or behavior, and then I'll have her rank the importance of that cost. Next, I'll have her list out the benefits. So if there's any benefits of her thoughts or behaviors, then I'll have her list those in this box here, and then I'll also have her rank the importance. And then finally, in this last box at the bottom here, I'll have her come up with some type of adaptive alternative. So these could be coping mechanisms that she could use to help transform her thoughts. I liked this worksheet because I thought it related well to my model, which is CMOP-E. I thought the importance column was especially neat because it incorporated motivation and what is most important to her, so it's a little more client-centered. And so just a little bit more about this. A little bit more about this intervention was that it was chosen for the client to help her identify her negative thought patterns and help her come up with some positive and healthy coping strategies. So this is needed for the client because right now she's reporting feelings of depression and she's currently suffering from a substance use disorder. So these would help her change some of those thoughts or behaviors of when she's using her controlled substances. The goal of this intervention would be to modify her current negative thought patterns and help turn them into more positive thought patterns. By transforming her thoughts, the client will be able to reduce her mental health symptoms, reduce her substance use, and productively perform daily living tasks. So as you can see from these goals, from this intervention, this would be an appropriate OT intervention. Up next, I will be performing this intervention on my client. Thank you. Hi Tessa, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I know we talked a little bit last week. We did some evaluations and talked a little bit about money management strategies and doing some grocery shopping and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So just to share a little bit about what OT's hopefully going to do for you, we're just going to work on promoting some physical and mental health, as well as work on some thought strategies and behavior modifications for some of your problem areas. Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So what you have in front of you is a worksheet. So it's a cost and benefit analysis. So in this first box, I just want you to think of a thought or behavior that you might want to change.
Well, I know we had that scare with my kids this week, and I feel like a lot of that has to do with my alcohol intake. But I really just don't feel like myself if I'm not drinking.
Okay, yeah. So let's go ahead, and I think that would be a great thought that we might want to change. So let's go ahead and put that in this first box here. Awesome, thank you so much. So then next we're going to move on here, and then these are some costs and benefits. So we'll just focus on the cost column for right now. So can you think of any costs? These could be negative outcomes to that thought that you think. I don't feel like myself when I'm sober.
That's not a good example for my kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Can you think of another one?
It's expensive.
Absolutely.
I know we talked about that last week.
Good. So yeah, it's expensive to keep buying alcohol every week. What are some other costs? And they don't have to be monetary costs. They could be mental costs, physical costs. Do you experience any physical symptoms when you drink?
Like when I stop drinking.
Okay. What kind of symptoms do you have?
Like I get a really bad headache, and I'm really like light and noise sensitive, and that's hard with my kids because they want me to like play with them, and they get to be really loud, and I get frustrated, and it just causes like a lot of like anxiety and irritation.
Sure. Yeah. So let's go ahead and put that. If you're not sure how to word it, we could just do sober symptoms, or maybe physical symptoms. Just as long as you know what it means, that's the most important thing.
Okay.
Good. What about some mental symptoms? Can you think of anything because of this thought? What do you think about yourself?
I feel like a really bad mom.
Okay.
Like, and that makes me like depressed.
Yeah.
I have anxiety that like it's gonna like they're gonna take my kids.
Sure. Yeah. Let's go ahead and put that down. Good. Okay. Now, let's move over to this benefit column. So, what are some of the benefits when you drink, or what are some of the benefits of I'm only myself when I'm only feel like myself when I'm drinking?
I'm not stressed.
Okay.
It feels more fun. Just like just feel like less responsible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kind of lowered inhibitions.
Mm-hmm. It tastes good.
Yeah. Good. You think of anything else?
Helps me sleep.
Sure. Yeah. That's a big one. Yeah, so right now we have a really good list going. So now I'm going to have you rank these in importance. So there's a little scale here from 1 to 10. Just rank how important these are for you. So is being a bad mom more important than having the cost of buying alcohol all the time? Or is maybe buying alcohol more debilitating than experiencing some of those withdrawal symptoms?
So am I like supposed to rank them about like which one is the biggest consequence?
Yeah, kind of. So we're just gonna rank them. Which one do you want to change more?
Okay, and a 10 is the one I want to change the most.
Yeah.
And a 1 is the one I want to change the least.
Yes.
Okay. Probably like, being a bad example for my kids is a 10. Do I give each one a different number?
You can go ahead. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a different number. It's just 1 to 10 for each one.
Okay. So my mental health is probably like a 9. My symptoms are probably like a 9 because my body's pretty important. Mm-hmm. And the expensiveness of it is probably like a 5. I feel like that's not that big of a deal.
Okay, good. Perfect. So then let's move on to the benefits. So again, we're going to rank these from 1 being not important to 10 being very important. So what about the stress relief? How important is that to you?
That's like an E probably.
Sure. And then what about having fun?
Like a 6.
Yeah. How about taste good?
It's like a 4.
Okay. And then helping you sleep?
9.
Yeah, absolutely. Sleep's really important, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know you said you kind of felt you had some low energy the other week. So, yeah, sleep can really impact a bunch of different things. So let's go ahead and total these up. So then if you add all of these together, then we get, and I can help you with this, so
33.
Perfect. 33 and then
18, 27.
Good. So as you can see here, the costs right now are outweighing the benefits. Do you see that? I mean, just numerically from what we did here. 33 is higher than 27. So obviously this is going to be a negative thing that we're going to want to change. So moving on to the last little part here, can you think of anything maybe you could do to kind of change that behavior of drinking, or to change that thought of I don't feel like myself when I'm sober?
Maybe I can find like another, I don't want to say habit, but kind of,
Sure.
that can like bring the same benefits.
Yeah, so replace drinking with something else that's a little more positive. So what are some things that maybe you like to do that's not drinking, or something that's a little more positive?
I like to be outside.
Okay. What do you like to do outside?
I like to lay in the hammock.
Okay.
I like to go on hikes or walks with my kids sometimes.
Or walks? Yeah, great. So let's go ahead and write, so instead of I don't feel like myself when I'm sober, maybe we could write I feel like myself when I'm outside doing these activities. Do you think that's true?
Yeah. A different self than when I'm drinking, but
Sure.
you know.
Good. And then can you think of one more thing? You can either think of a thought to replace this, or maybe another behavior or something else that we could do instead of drinking.
Maybe when I'm thinking about drinking, I can think of something else to do to distract me, like reading to my boys or something.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be good because, sometimes the weather's not always great. We can't always depend on going outside. So maybe having an indoor activity might be good just as a backup plan. So yeah, let's go ahead and write down reading with your kids. Good. And then actually, instead of just doing other things, I want to make this a little more specific because I'm going to let you keep this worksheet. But this can also be a way to, if you ever have this thought occur, or if you ever feel that urge that, oh, I really feel like I need a drink right now, you can turn to this and say, oh, shoot, I really need to do some of these things that we talked about. Okay. So let's go ahead and write those activities. Yeah, good. So hiking and hammocking. Walking. Perfect.
Maybe reading with my boys or watching a movie.
Or
I like to bake, and I like to help me in the kitchen, and that's
good. Fun. Perfect. Great. So you understand why we put those activities, because sometimes when we're in that mindset, sometimes it's hard to think of these activities, so it's good to think of them now while we're in a healthier mindset. So when you are kind of having some of these thoughts, we can just go ahead and turn to these lists that we've already made and do some of these healthy things to distract us, like you said. Okay? Does that sound all right? Awesome. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of homework to do this week. So we kind of worked on thought restructuring. So I want you just 3 times this week, if you could write down in a journal for me, just a thought that pops up in your head. So if you have, it could be this thought or any other negative thought or a behavior. I just want you to jot it down in a journal or a notebook. And then I want you to go through these type of things. So I want you to kind of list some of the bad outcomes, some things it makes you feel good, and then some other things that maybe we could do instead of doing that negative behavior.
And how often am I going to do this during the week?
Let's just do it 3 times this week, just to start out
the
with.
whole week.
Yeah.
So like 3 more of these.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Does that sound okay? Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.